Hi. So today we're going to continue our series with the requirements for dietary supplement testing. In the last two videos we focused on talking about the general requirements and specifically raw material identification test in supplement testing. So today I want to speak about what I consider to be one of the most overlooked aspect of laboratory testing in the dietary supplement industry, and that is what we call in-process testing. What happens when you begin your manufacturing process, and so you've begun and you've tested your initial raw material ingredients that would go into your blend, as we've spoken about. You've selected the test that you want to perform. You've got the ingredients that needs to be selected, and you have now began your batching process. Well, what happens in between the batching or the start of your manufacturing process and your final stage where you have packaged the material and you're getting ready to do your final testing on your finished product blend? Well, in between there is that aspect of what we call in-process testing, and yes, it's also a requirement. And so the same part that we've spoken about, part 111.70 in the current good manufacturing practices issued by the FDA, in-process testing is also a requirement. It just happens that from our end as a lab service provider, we just have not seen a whole lot of that type of testing. So most of the work that we have seen in our lab, Culinary Analyticals, again, I am an owner, one of the owners of Culinary Analyticals, a testing lab. The majority of tests that we see in our labs covers the raw material ingredient testing, whether it's for identification or assay or potency, microbiology or heavy metals, and then the label claim testing. Again, the same type of test where it is heavy metals, microbiology, or label claim, potency, ingredient testing. What we don't get a lot of in our lab is the in-process testing. That is, we don't see a whole lot of samples, we do not receive a whole lot of samples, and I would venture to say it's probably less than 1% of the samples that we receive in a year in our lab, Culinary Analyticals, where it might be an in-process test that we're performing. And so it's overlooked, and I'm not sure why, but it is a requirement. And so just like for your finished product and for your raw material ingredient testing, the same thing apply, or the same criteria apply. One, you have to select at what point in the manufacturing process you're going to test your product. Now, you can be testing for consistency, you can just be testing to see if a product has been mixed, or the whatever blend you're mixing, if that has been mixed properly, or you're looking for consistency in color, consistency in texture. But either way, you have to have within your batching and blending or encapsulation, wherever along in the manufacturing process you may be. And again, if you're dealing with liquid tinctures and samples, then even in that point, you still need to do a level of testing. And the question is, what type of testing are you doing? So the criteria remains the same. You have to select an appropriate test to perform. You have to determine the specifications that you're going to be examining in your in-process testing. So again, we just don't see a whole lot of that in our lab, but it is what is required by the manufacturing code as I've outlined. So now this is a short video simply because we don't see a whole lot of it. But if again you have come across this video and you have stopped and you're asking yourself, hey, what is this in-process testing? that this guy is asking or talking about on this video when it comes to dietary supplements, feel free, call up your manufacturer and ask them the question, hey guys, do you perform in-process lab testing of any sort for your products before it gets to the finished point? Before you produce a finished ingredient or a finished product or formulation, do you perform in-process testing? And so if I were to send you a product to manufacture, would in-process testing be part of that, what you're doing? And I would like to know what the answer for those questions would be, but from the laboratory point of view, we simply have not gotten a lot of those. It does not mean it does not happen. Maybe they are sending those samples to a lot of other labs. We just do not get a lot of those in our labs. So, but it is a requirement. So in this short video, what I want to stress is that, number one, testing your formulations as they're in the process of manufacturing is required. Number two, choose an appropriate point to perform your test. Number three, select an appropriate test to perform to determine what characteristics you're testing for. Have it properly documented as part of your manufacturing process. And if you're not sure if this is happening, and so if you have solicited a manufacturer or contract manufacturer to make your product or manufacture your product, then that is a question that you need to ask. Now, if you are in the process of trying to get some products made and you are not sure what to do, you have questions about laboratory testing, or you have questions about interpreting your laboratory data, please feel free, give us a call. You can either call us at Culinary Analyticals, but if you're looking for consultation, you can give us a call or visit our website at dsneutral.com, and I'll be happy to walk you through a consultation as to how to go about setting up for laboratory testing and what are the requirements for this sort of testing. So until next time, have a great day.